Hello, my name is Matthias Cavodio. Welcome guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the most important comic book within my whole collection is this one, Wolverine 40. This story and the two issues after made me a full-fledged comic book nerd, hook, line, and sinker. Like before this, I had already been buying some Spider-Man stuff, New Warriors, Darkhawk. I was liking it. Thought it was pretty cool. But this story just blew me away. Like from this moment on, I was like, oh shit, I want to buy every single issue. Like I was really interested in Wolverine already from the point of when I saw him in the pilot of the X-Men cartoon, and he had an Australian accent for a real long time. I thought he was Australian. I wanted to get my hands on a Wolverine comic book by accident. I bought a couple of issues of Marvel Comics Presents. I didn't understand what the hell was going on, especially Sam Keith was doing that particular story arc. So it was really trippy, and it wasn't my cup of tea at the time. Now I think it's really awesome. Then I got this one at my local comic book shop because all the other comic books I was buying were at the local supermarket, and I had a comic book shop really close to my house, but every time I would go, it was closed. The guy didn't like working too much. He was really lazy. Oh, let's get into the story. Written by Larry Hama, art by Marc Silvestri. Art top notch. Larry Hama's story, he just kills it. At least for me, it really works. We start with LCD. She was created by the Reavers, by Donald Pierce, she's a bomb, and she was designed to get close to Wolverine, befriend him, and explode. And that's the whole gist. But she becomes friends with Wolverine. She's able to override her programming. Wolverine wants to save her, but the exploding mechanism within her it's sort of unstable. So Wolverine takes her to Ford to see how she can be helped. Now LCD was also partners with the cyborg Wolverine, Albert. He's freaking awesome. Like he's not only just a copy of Wolverine, like he grows up into being his own character. It's a shame he's been totally absent and disappeared over the years. Created by the Reavers and by Donald Pierce. So Albert also considers LCD his friend, and he doesn't want her to explode. So his idea is to take Wolverine off the table, so there's no menace of her fulfilling her program. And his plan is really awesome. So he escapes from the police that he was actually in a deposit because he seemingly had died, or I don't remember what happened to the previous issue. And he still steals a stealth bomber, the most awesome flying plane in history. Aesthetically, it looks freaking cool. I have no idea why I said flying plane, because all planes fly. It just sounds really stupid now thinking that I said that. But the dude's riding it on the roof, howling on the rooftop, trying to find Wolverine. Albert seems to be cybernetically connected to LCD, so he actually calls her to a roof, sort of as a trap for Wolverine. So Wolverine gets up on the top of the Twin Towers. They're looking out. They don't know what they're looking for. And then Wolverine gets rammed by the stealth bomber in the back. And seeing this advertisement, I remember when I went to see Rocketeer in the theaters. It was the second movie I ever saw in the movies. The first one was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And then the kids. And then this one. And I both saw them at a drive-in theater. Wolverine gets slammed by the plane. We get this epic battle between both characters. And Elsie tells him, like, hey guys, both you are my friends. Don't kill each other. It's a pretty hilarious moment. Albert decides to do the right thing. He decides to take down the plane in the Hudson River. He doesn't want to be a menace or cause any trouble. Hammer goes in a blaze of glory into the river. We cut to the next issue, issue 41. All these characters are my favorite characters. Like, I have 10 characters I consider all to be my favorite. Cable, Sabretooth, Wolverine, all up there. They're always going to be. And another really cool thing is I didn't realize, again, these are the first couple of issues I ever got. I thought that every issue of a comic book was a standalone story, unless it said part 1 of 2, 1 of 3, or something like that. So this was the first time I realized that comic books were serialized and that the story kept on going. So we start off the story. Wolverine find their way into the sewers. While they're going around the sewers, there's someone else down there, and it's Sabretooth. So Sabretooth, obviously Wolverine's arch nemesis. During this story, Sabretooth tells Wolverine, and I thought this case, but then Marvel went back and forth many times over this, that he's Wolvie's father, but then he seems to, it was implanted into his mind by Weapon X. And Wolverine's memories in general are one of the biggest issues I have with the character. Like Marvel used and abused memory implants in Wolverine. Like anything that wouldn't work. No, there was a memory implant. No, it wasn't. It was such a pain in the ass. The thing is, it's never very certain how much Sabretooth ruined Wolverine's life. That's always hinted that is the fact, but the details vary because of the memory implants. But due to the fact that they're roaming around the sewers, they have to deal with Sabretooth. They have to deal with the Morlocks. The first time I encountered the classic battle between Wolverine and Sabretooth. This battle rages on for 2 issues. Here we have beautiful art by Mike Mignola, Wolverine Cable. Battle rages on. LCD crosses paths with Cable, who looks a lot like Dolph Lundgren. Tell me if I'm not correct there. So, hint that Cable doesn't really like Wolverine, and because Wolverine and Sabretooth get locked in another room and it starts flooding because of the Morlocks. They're dealing with flooding and they're part of the sewer. So, totally willing to let Wolverine and Sabretooth drown. And Cable had a bone to pick with Sabretooth in a previous story arc in New Mutants. Cable and the New Mutants had a crossing with Sabretooth fighting Caliban. And Caliban was in there too, where Caliban seemingly broke Sabretooth's back. So the battle rages on. LCD actually ends up sacrificing her body to save from everyone from drowning. She blows herself up, but she detaches her head, so she's still around. The story's told, it's gripping. It's very well told. Like, it's a real page turner. Like, you really feel trapped within the story. I remember this making a great impact on me. Like, there's a reason why this story just really hooked me in and wanting to read comic books. To get rescued by Nick Fury. Tries to cheap shot Wolverine in the helicopter, but ends up falling out with LCD biting him on the neck. She's going to be rescued by Albert. And from this point on, I remember buying Wolverine every single week. Every 2 weeks. It was a bi-monthly from this point on. And these particular issues are very cherished. And then I discovered, and we're going to cover another video, how many filler issues. Like Wolverine and Spider-Man, boy, they used and abused filler issues in those. So, see you guys next time. Bye.